What can I do for you, Sergeant?
I'm looking for the jockey.
Who, Mac?
Raymond Stash McGill.
Anything wrong?
Yeah.
You try his newsstand? Sometimes he stays open pretty late.
We looked at his newsstand and all the other places he hangs out. Then I happen to remember that you two were pretty palsy-walsy.
That's right, so what?
We want him.
What for?
Murder.
Little Mac?
You shocked? Little Mac. He strangled a girl at the New Paradise last night. Her name's Stella Taylor. He flipped. He's been after her for the last 3 or 4 months, every night at the New Paradise, moaning and groaning.
Little Mac with a dance hall girl? Well, that's very hard to believe. He's a little jockey with a lame leg and a lot of pride. He wouldn't look at a dance hall girl twice.
Well, he's given this one plenty of second thoughts. Now, do you know where he is?
No, I don't.
Well, if you hear from him, you'll let us know, won't you?
Look, what evidence do you have? Were there any witnesses? Did anyone see him?
Like I said in the beginning, he's been after this Stella Taylor for 3 or 4 months, and she was having none of it. This morning, she's found dead in her room. He's not at his newsstand, and we can't find him at any of the other places. So I put 2 and 2 together.
Aren't you being just a little bit ridiculous? I mean, little Mac with a dance hall girl.
I'm not interested in your opinion. Do you know where he is?
No, I don't.
Well, don't try to get in touch with him. And if you hear from him, you'll let us know. It's for his own good.
Okay, Joe. Okay. If I hear from him, I'll let you know.
How about a nice cup of coffee, Sergeant?
No, thanks.
Johnny, someday you're going to get in trouble with that man, Gillen. I don't like him either.
Trying to make a lieutenant for the last 11 years.
You know, John, it's hard to believe that little Mac, that little fellow's a murderer. I was there the day he fell. The day he rode his last race. Spent nearly a year in the hospital. Broke his arms and legs.
Now he sells newspapers for a living. And now they say he's a murderer. You know, 4 years ago, everybody was singing his praises. Everybody said he was the greatest jockey in the world.
Yeah. People forget.
Yeah, people forget. The next day I went to the track. Because I couldn't forget what was part of me, and Mac was part of me. Not a close friend, but what you might call a close acquaintance. A guy who never bothered me with his problems, but always had his hand out for me if I needed it. Mac? Are you alone? Right.
Yeah. I'm alone.
What's the matter, man?
I really loved her, Johnny. First time in my life I ever felt that way. Now it's all over. She's gone. Gone.
Mac, how did you get the word she was gone?
Frenchie told me. When I went by to get my papers last night. And he told me they've been around looking for me.
You have any idea who did do it? Did Stella have any trouble? I mean, did she have any trouble out of the ordinary, you know?
She never told me about the guy she knew, and I never asked.
She must have talked to somebody. How about the girls down at the Paradise? Any of them know about her private life?
Maybe, I don't know. I never had anything to do with any of them except Stella.
Fiandella still run the Paradise?
You know him?
You were in love with her, huh?
Yes.
So you just sit tight and relax, and I'll be in touch with you.
Where could I go?
Some guys you have a feeling for. They communicate hard. They're wide open, vulnerable. You gotta help them or you're nothing.
You don't be sloppy like that. You say, hello, fellas. Everything's so nice.
Tony!
Johnny boy! Hiya, boy. Long time no see. Anything wrong, Johnny?
Yeah, I need a favor.
Anything at all? Money? Sure. Come on.
No, I need a job.
You lost me, boy.
Well, look, I want to sit in with the band just for tonight.
You want to play the piano here? Boy, this is no favor. This is a curse.
Ma, Tony, listen, I want to ask some questions, and I don't want any of your crowd knowing that I'm snooping, see?
Something serious, huh?
Yeah, it's Stella Taylor. Excuse me. Hi.
Hello.
You want to join me in a drink?
Got any tickets? We drink, we dance. It all costs one ticket.
Not for me, baby. I work here as of tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah, bring us two of whatever you got closest there, yeah? Yeah, I'm the new piano man here.
Well, piano man, welcome to the club. We could use some new faces around here.
Oh, I've been here before. I used to know a girl here. What was her name? What the heck was her name? Stella, that was it. Stella Taylor. Well, drink up. Here's how. Haven't seen her around tonight. Where is she?
She isn't here anymore.
Must have married one of those guys who used to give her the Rush act, huh? Man, she had a lot. You ever see any of those cats that used to hang around with her?
Some of them.
Why are you so interested in who dated Stella?
I'm just curious, I guess.
Come on, girlie. Dance. Come on. You too.
Sick.
What are you doing here?
I work here as of 5 minutes ago.
You're working the wrong gig. You better scram before you get in over your head.
You know, I figured the cops would question everybody in here a long time ago. What are you doing here?
So now you think it's your turn to ask the questions, huh? Look, let me warn you.
Get your big fat meat hook off my arm.
Okay, Johnny boy. Time to give the public a treat. Hello, Joe. Joe, did Johnny tell you? Johnny's working for me now. He's going to give the place a little class, you know.
Want to stick around? We'll finish our conversation later, so to speak.
You just remember everything I've said so far.
Better get up there, Johnny boy.
Buy a girl a drink, piano man.
Next break, all right?
Listen, you want to know who Stella dated? Or you were just talking to one of them?
Who, Tony?
No. the fuzz, the big cop.
Stella Taylor was dead. The pink lights, the shimmering stars, the sultry music combined to create the Paradise Dance Hall. Here, everybody reaching out for a piece of paradise. Here, 10 cents a dance. 1 minute of paradise. And suddenly it's honky-tonk. And here I am trying to solve a murder and save a friend.
Hey, piano man. Here you go.
Next round's on me.
This round's on you. I put it on your tab. Still want to talk about Stella?
Yeah.
Bye, girl. Get lost.
And the cop. The big, fat cop.
Well, last year they used to see a lot of each other, then they split. Like me? Guess Stella drained him of all his spare loot. Well, maybe he got the message. She was like that. Well, anyway, they split. Then about 2 months ago, he was back. Just not going steady, just hanging around, scowling at people. But she didn't pay much attention to him. She was too busy with her uptown daddy.
Who was that?
Some guy named Popper.
Do y'all mind if I join you? I just love the way you play piano. I'm Gracie. Are we all discussing something personal?
We were talking about your girlfriend, Stella.
Oh,
Gracie here was Stella's greatest fan. Nobody else liked her, but Gracie did.
y'all just didn't understand her, that's all. Underneath all that fast talk, she is real nice.
You mentioned a man named Popper. Who was Popper, Gracie? You ever meet him?
Oh, no, he wasn't real. But he was just crazy about Stella. Sent her flowers and things in the mail.
In the mail? I mean, didn't she ever tell you about him? Where he lived or anything?
No, she never saw him.
Never showed his face. Started with flowers and ended up with an apartment.
You mean she never met the guy?
No, she never did. Sent her all those presents and not once asked for anything in return. Started sending her presents about 2 months ago. Real nice things. Wanted her to have nice things, he said. With no string.
All right, girls, we got customers.
Sure, Tony, sure. We wouldn't miss it for the world.
Take a break, but play now and then, like now.
Tony, oh boy, I'm leaving the organization. I'm afraid they're just a little too hip for me. They might ruin my style. But thanks a lot for your cooperation and for the tryout. I called Sam Baker, a friend of mine. Sam's a lieutenant, works out of the same station as Gillen. I explained to Sam everything I'd learned, and most of all about Gillen's relationship to the murdered girl, and his frantic desire to pin it on McGill. Sam was at the lineup. He asked me to join him.
Now listen, he's a good cop. He's hard and he's tough, but a good cop. You know, I want to tell you something. You citizens don't like a tough cop until you need one. Then the tougher, the better.
Sam, I'm not accusing him of anything. But just because he's a cop, he shouldn't be above suspicion. I mean, what does it hurt to check? Supposing he is this Mr. Popper.
Come again? Huh.
Look, just hypothetically speaking.
But you told me this girl didn't even know who Mr. Popper was.
That could be the story she gave to the other girls, what Gillen wanted her to say.
Listen, John, I've known Joe Gillen for about 15 years. I've disliked him the whole time. Personally, that is. As a cop, he's okay. Like myself, not perfect, but okay.
Turn back.
Now, what you're saying is plausible, but not possible. It just ain't so.
But how do you know, Sam? I mean, how do you know?
The night the Taylor girl was murdered, I was with Joe Gillen. All night, on a stakeout across town. It's all in the log at the station. You can check and look at it if you want.
Out.
John, I know how you feel. Look, you still got this Mr. Popper. Now, as soon as I finish here, I'm going to make a check. See what I can come up with. Now, I'll get the boys a-popping, honey. Meantime, you relax. Go back to your piano. And if I get any news, I'll let you know the first thing.
All right, Sam. Thanks. I'll be at Waldo's.
All right, hats off. Turn to the right. Okay, now face the wall. Turn to the left.
Hello? Yes, Sam. Oh, no. Well, thanks anyway, Sam. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be here. Just give me a call anytime. Yeah. So long, buddy. Bye. The only popper with a record was electrocuted 16 years ago.
Johnny, if he's innocent, he'll get justice. He's just making it worse by hiding.
Well, I guess I better go tell Mac. I couldn't find out a thing. Poor guy. You know, I'll bet you anything that if they find this Popper guy, they'll be able to clear Mac.
Popper. I've never heard of a man with that name.
Yeah, well, the police will find him.
Popper. Johnny! Once I lost $50 on a horse. Once I knew a horse by that name. A Greek racehorse, Popopoulos. Almost won the Belmont Stakes. Fell just before the finish. Almost killed his jockey. That jockey's name was...
Raymond Stosh McGill.
I was crazy, Johnny. She drove me crazy.
How did it happen?
It just happened.
Tell me.
I used to go in the paradise and sit by the door listening to the music and watching the people. I used to sit and watch Stella. She started talking to me between dances. She was nice to me, Johnny. Very nice. Sometimes she'd let me walk home with her when she didn't have a date. That's all, just walk home. After a while, she started depending on me to do errands, run out for cigarettes, pick up her laundry, stuff like that.
Did she know how you felt, Mac? Did you ever tell her?
I didn't need to tell her. She knew. She got a charge out of it. I'm a very funny fella. I started having daydreams about her. You know, marriage and stuff like that, and the place in the country. I had some money saved from the insurance, my newsstand. I started buying her presents and flowers and sending them to the paradise, only without her knowing it. I buy them and mail them. Finally, I even rented her a fancy apartment uptown like I knew she always wanted. I used the name of Papa because old Papa and me had something in common. We both almost made it. They had to destroy old Papa after we fell. Me, it's taken a little longer. Would have been 5 years next June. Twice I sent her a note saying that Mr. Popper would meet her, and twice I backed out at the last minute, but the third time I made it, I got all dressed up like a dude. I went up and I knocked at the door of her fancy apartment, the one that I'd rented for her. When she opened the door and saw who it was, she thought I was kidding. When I confessed everything, she started to laugh. I even asked her to marry me. She just laughed more. She couldn't stop laughing. And she started joking with me. She said I could hold her hand, but it would cost me 10 cents a minute, like down at the Paradise. And Johnny, I started doing it, paying her 10 cents every minute. And every minute she charged me 10 cents. She thought it was real kicks. Finally, she got up and went out the door, still laughing.
Oh, Mac, you don't have to go on.
I want to. Maybe somehow you'll understand a little. Nobody else will. I waited, and I took a drink. First drink I had in 4.5 years since me and old Papa fell. 4.5 years ago. That was why old Papa fell. He wanted to go wide. We knew we had the race in the bag, but because I'd been drinking, I tried to pull him over to the rail for a showy win. I made Papa trip. That was the end of everything. Anyway, I killed her.
Joe? Hey, Joe.
Go easier on him if he turns himself in.
Thanks a lot.
Just don't try crossing me again, Staccato. I can step very hard.